Thursday, August 3rd, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So this is an early market update. It's around quarter to 10 a.m. London time or quarter to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I noticed that gold earlier this morning was down to around 1262. And then I looked at the dollar yen. It hasn't really moved up. If anything, the dollar was down. And then I opened up the charts and I noticed that there was kind of a smackdown of gold right at midnight London time or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pretty much the time where Asia comes in to the office, you know, Japan and the other Asian countries, Hong Kong. And gold basically traded from 1266 all the way down to 1256, just below 1257. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, that's what happened. In a matter of minutes, it just spiked to lower there. It's kind of a little flash crash, if you want to call it. Right now, gold is hovering. Holding support around 1260. We're at 1261.60, down about $5. Silver is at 1646, down about $11. I have looked at the daily charts. They don't look very good. It looks like gold and silver are trying to keel over a little bit. But on the weekly basis, the charts still remain quite positive. The big event, of course, these coming 2 days, today and tomorrow, will be the U.S. job data, non-farm payroll tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will probably move the market one way or the other. Stock market, I made a video yesterday, of course, about possibility of a melt up. It's very possible, you know, the percentage-wise, we're not that far from 28,000. You know, it's very different than going from 2,000 to 8,000, going from 22,000 to 28,000. So don't forget, you know, the percentage and the logarithmic chart. This morning, the Dow is down 8 points right now at 22,000. It got down to 21,980. So nothing really going on there worth speaking about. S&P down 3 points at 2472. So very little action in the stock market. The euro is a little weaker, 118.36, down about 20 pips. The range has been 118.29 to 118.62. Still think we're going to go up to 120 in the medium term in the euro. Euro's looking quite positive. Dollar yen 110.70, down 3 pips. The range has been 110.55 and 110.83. So dollar fairly weak against the yen. The pound is a little stronger here, up 30 pips at 132.52, up 0.25% against the dollar. And what else? Well, bond markets. I haven't spoken about the bond markets that much lately. I know there was a comment by Greenspan saying that bonds are in a bubble, and I don't disagree with him. But right now, the bond market is quite subdued. Looking here at the Treasury yield curve, 10-year yield is 226. It's down 9 basis points for the in the last month. So not much going on there. The 5-year note yield is 182, down 11. And the 30 years at 285, below that 3%. So not much to report right now in the bond markets. I will let you know if things start moving about and in a fashion that's worth looking at. One thing I like to talk about, though, is the geopolitical side. Because Zero Hedge reporting here says Russian Prime Minister Medvedev says the U.S. just declared full-scale trade war on Russia. And it goes on to say this is from Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev's Facebook page, and he says, the signing of new sanctions against Russia into law by the U.S. president leads to several consequences. First, any hope of improving our relations with the new U.S. administration is over. Second, the U.S. just declared a full-scale trade war on Russia. Third, the Trump administration demonstrated it is utterly powerless, and in the most humiliating manner transferred executive powers to Congress. I agree with that. This shifts the alignment of forces in U.S. political circles. And he goes on to say, what does this mean for the U.S.? The American establishment completely outplayed Trump. The president is not happy with the new sanctions, but he could not avoid signing the new law. The purpose of the new sanctions was to put Trump in his place. Their ultimate goal is to remove Trump from power. An incompetent player must be eliminated. So that's from the Russian Prime Minister. So, basically saying, Trump is basically being usurped. His power, executive power, has been usurped by the legislative power, Congress and the Senate, by passing these sanctions against Russia and him signing onto it. He could have refused to sign this bill into law, but he didn't. And why am I talking about this? Well, I think it doesn't bode well for the U.S. dollar. The fact that the U.S. government, and by that I mean the administration, the executive power, the legislative, branch, which is Congress, and also to some extent the judiciary, because the judiciary has been challenging some of Donald Trump's executive orders. It just goes to show that there's complete division. There's I know, you could have a Congress that is from a different party, but usually, there is cooperation in terms of foreign policy, and Congress goes along with the executive. But it looks right now that the legislative branch is trying to make the executive look completely, incompetent. And it has succeeded in the eyes of Prime Minister Medvedev of the Russian Federation. And do you really think Russia is going to be buying a lot more treasuries as U.S. treasuries as monetary reserves? They might still have some. They might still keep them. But I wouldn't, if I was, Russian government or Russian authorities, monetary authorities, would I really want to increase purchases of treasuries? No, I would think I'd want to concentrate on buying other reserves like the Chinese yuan or physical gold, which they have been already. So I think if anything, this is going to be a negative for the dollar. So yeah, this is the early market update here. What I take from the move in gold earlier this morning when it was smashed for 10 bucks is just short-term noise. Longer term, the weekly chart's still looking pretty good. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you'd like to make a donation, there's some links below in the description. And you can also follow me on steemit.com, STEEMIT.com. Bye.